It was President's Day weekend and I was in 7th grade. My parents had surprised us with a surprise trip up to Lake Tahoe where we stayed in a condo and we were able to go snow skiing for 3 days. It was amazing except for the fact that I didn't put a bit of sunscreen on for those 3 days. My skin was lobster red. I had an incredible time, but I was so burnt. I was thinking, it's just gonna turn into a good tan like a California boy. It's not exactly what took place at all. I went to school the next day. I was saying, Mom, can I just stay home? Can I just stay? No, you're going. Well, during that day, my skin had blistered something unbelievable. And my friends were making fun of me. I had no idea necessarily what I looked like, but they did. I got home and my mom said, oh dear. She had this look of shock and horror, like she had just watched some sort of awful horror movie. I went and looked at myself in the mirror and all of these blisters had popped and oozed and now had dried crusty. I looked awful. She's like, you're not going to school tomorrow. You look too gross. And if there's any point in time when you're thankful that your mom tells you look gross, it was this moment, okay? Because it meant I didn't have to go to school. It meant I didn't have to face my friends. But man, as we're taking a look at our lesson today, ultimately it's an element, does my life inside reflect what I look like on the outside? We're talking about Easter and ultimately what changes in our lives because of the cross, because of Christ going to the cross and being resurrected. And hopefully there's some things that change, and one of those things should be how my life is reflected on the outside. Does it look like what's happening on the inside? On my skier trip, I had an amazing time. It was one of the most unbelievable weekends of my life. But on the outside, it looked like it was an awful mess. And sometimes that's the way our Christian lives look. And is that a great response in light of the cross? Well, in the book of 1 Peter, he's talking about what happens with Christ's suffering on the cross and what our lives should look like. And he says this in verse 13 in the first chapter. And he says, therefore, now anytime you see a therefore, circle it because that's a good indication that something important is going to be said. With minds that are alert and fully sober, set your hope on the grace to be brought to you when Christ Jesus is revealed at his coming. As obedient children, do not conform to the evil desires you had when you lived in ignorance. But just as he who called you is holy, so be holy in all you do. For it is written, be holy because I am holy. Where is my hope set now that I have Christ in my life? Is my hope still set on the things that I once desired? To be able to end up getting an incredible position, which maybe is going to give me power, and hopefully it's going to be giving me money. And it's not a bad desire, but if it's meant for my own gain and not for God's glory, then it's probably not a great desire. Or is it somehow gaining friends or influence or some sort of other lustful desire? All of these things, are they against God or are they for him? And I have to do an inventory of my life and say, is my hope set on him or is my hope set on what culture and the world is saying that is going to feed me and ultimately fill me? I want to make sure my life and my mind is set on Christ. And it says, be holy. And there's this element of be holy, like, it seems like it's like I'd be that goody two-shoes Christian. It's like, no, I want my life to reflect what it is that he's done for me. Here's a great tool for you for this week. As a friend of mine, we'd always pray this prayer. It essentially is this, God, would you end up being with my mind? That you protect my mind from all that I'm thinking. Let my thoughts be glorifying to you. Would you protect my eyes and my ears, that what I'm putting into my mind will be pleasing to you? That everything I see and everything I hear is glorifying to you? Or would you be with my speech and all that I say? That words would be encouraging, would be edifying, would be glorifying to you? Or would you be with my hands and the actions throughout my day? And when I pray this prayer, it puts this amazing filter in front of me, this holiness filter that I don't want to put all of this other junk and trash into my life because ultimately I know that trash in is going to be trash out. So I want to encourage you, live a life worthy of his calling. Be holy because he's holy. Have a great day, everyone.